Hello guys, welcome to the next video on Android SQLite Database tutorial for beginners. And in this video we will see how we can update data in SQLite Database using our Android app. Till now we have seen how to insert data into the SQLite database and how to view it. And let's add one more button here. And this button we are going to use to update the data. So I'm going to change the name as update. And one more thing we want to do is, if you remember, our database table contains 4 columns. First one was ID, second one was name, surname, and the marks scored by the student, right? And to update the data, we need a unique reference of the row so that we can tell SQLite that we want to delete the data from this particular row, right? Because names can be same. So if you want to change the name of one person which shares the name with the other person, then the data can be changed for both the names if you don't know what is the unique row or unique column in this. Okay, so ID we have defined as a unique column for this database table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly add this ID text view and edit text so that we can enter the ID also. So now I have added this ID edit text and text view here, right? Now we are good to go. So next thing we need to do is we need to create a function in our database helper.java class, which we have created in the last videos. So let's go to database helper.java file, and in here till now we have created insert data and get all data functions, right? We will create one more function here and we will call it as update data. Okay, so it will be public and it will return boolean. So we need to know if the data is really updated or not. So we are going to return boolean, and we say this function name is update data. Okay, arguments it's going to take 4 arguments. First argument we are going to pass here will be string ID. Second is the string name. So basically I want to pass all the 4 column data to it, because our table contains 4 columns: ID, name, surname, and marks, right? So I'm going to pass all the 4 column data. I'm going to take it from edit text and pass it in this function, right? Now in here what we are going to do is, as we have done in the insert data function, first of all we will create a SQLite database instance. So I'm going to copy this from here to here, and second we are going to create an instance of content value. Okay, so let's create that. And then, as we have done in this insert data function, that we were putting whatever data is passed from the argument to this content value using put, right? So let's do it. And one more column we need to add here, and this will be for column 1, right? This will be column 1 and it's ID in our case, right? Because this contains extra ID here. Now the only difference in this function and the insert data function is the method we are going to use now. So just take your database instance now and then call update here, and this update will update your data, whatever argument you pass here. First argument it takes is the name of your table. Okay, so give the name of your table. This is our table name. If you remember, we have declared table name here, right? So first argument is the table name, right? Second is the content value. So it takes second argument as content value. So we take this instance of content value and pass it here. Third argument is the condition which we want to pass here. So what we want to do, we want to update data on the basis of, for example, ID, because ID is our unique primary key here, and on the basis of primary key we can differentiate data. So in here we will write ID is equal to question. So we will ask whatever ID is passed using this ID parameter, we are going to query this. And fourth is the value on the basis of which we want to update our data. So this is the column name on the basis of which we want to update the data, and our column name is ID. So you can just write here column name ID is equal to question mark. And then in here, fourth argument, let's go inside this update. So just hover over control and click, and see it takes the fourth argument as the string array, right? So we will go back and pass string array here, right? So we can just write here in the curly braces, we just pass our ID and we want to pass the new instance of it. So new string ID. Okay. And if everything goes well, we want to return true to know that if the data is really updated or not. Now this is done. So what we are going to do is we are going to move to our main activity.java file, and in here we will declare one more button variable which will be our button for updating. So button update. Okay, and then we are going to take this button instance and we will cast it as a button using the ID. So the ID of this button is button itself right now. So let's change the ID to button underscore update or something like this. Button underscore update. So we know that this button is for update, right? Then we will go to main activity.java. We already declared our button for updating. So take this button, go to your onCreate method where you have typecasted all other tools or widgets, is equal to button. So we have done casting this button, and now we are going to create a function, and this function will be public. I'm going to declare this function here itself, void update data, for example. It's not going to take any argument, and inside this function what we are going to do is we are going to take this button and call set on click listener on it. So dot set on click listener, and inside this new on click listener, and inside this we just need to call our update function from our database helper. So this was update function. The name was a little bit wrong, so let's make it update function, right? And now what we are going to do is in our main activity.java file, inside this onClick method, we will declare a boolean to check if the data is updated, and we will name it as is updated is equal to, and now we are going to take our my database instance which we have created in our previous videos from our database helper class, right? So mydb dot update data, and now this update data function takes 4 arguments, as we know: ID, name, surname, and age, right? And in here we need to declare one more added text variable for ID. because we have created this new edit text here, which is edit text ID. So let's create one more variable for edit text in our main activity.java file. So let's add, for example, edit text for ID. Okay, and then we take this edit text and add to our onCreate method, and we will cast it same as we have done for other edit text in the previous videos, but the ID here will be for edit text ID, right? So edit text ID, right? And now we can take this edit text ID and pass it in our update data method here, dot get text, right? So it will take the text from the edit text and it will pass to this function. Same we will do for all our other edit text, which was for name, surname and marks. And the reason why it's showing error, because we need to convert this get text to strings, right? So dot to string. Okay, add this to other variables also. So basically what we have done, we have called our update data function and we have passed whatever we are getting from edit text, right? Now if this function returns true, which is update data, then so we will check if is update is equal to true, then what we are going to do, we are going to show some message, right? So we can take these messages from our last video. By the way, in the last video, I forgot to give this double equal to. So when we are checking equality, we need double equal to. Or single equal to we need in case of assigning the values, right? So I'm going to copy these messages from here and I'm going to paste it here. Okay. So now we will say data is updated, or data is not updated in case if it returns false. Data not updated. Okay. Now just copy this function and paste it inside our onCreate method so that it can be called when this onCreate method is called. And now we are ready to run our program. So let's run it. So now our program is running and we can see when we click this view all button, which we have created in the last video, that we have two rows of data. One is ID 1 and name is Mark and surname is Benson, and second is Tom, right? For example, I want to update the first letter of the name Mark. I want capital M here instead of small m. And same I want to do for this Benson here, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to just write the name here. So I have corrected the spelling in the name. Instead of small m, I have added capital M, and instead of small b, I have added capital B. And the other things remain same, marks remain same. And if you remember, the ID of this name Mark is 1. This is important here because on the basis of ID we are editing the data, right? And now we can click this update button. Just click this update and it says data updated. Okay, so let's check the data once again by view all, and now you can see the name Mark with the capital M and the surname Benson with capital B. So our data is updated successfully, right? So in this way you can update the data in the SQLite database using your Android app. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.